like that little thing at the end there. Hey, what do you say? Thank you for clicking on, everybody, American Doofus channel. And thanks to my friend Apollo putting that little uh, bumper, as we call it. Bumper is something leading into a show. So hello. Thank you for clicking on. Uh, it is Wednesday night, slight schedule change. Normally we would have started a little bit ago, started a short time ago, and we would have Cunning Stunt and GA from CA on, but we had to switch things up a little bit, and they are going to be on tomorrow night instead. So we'll start tomorrow night at 10, and they'll be with us tomorrow night. They got something planned. I don't know what, but taking a little extra time. So um, we're on here tonight, and I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but welcome everyone, especially those of you that were watching Damnation Drive-In. And while hopefully someday Salvation Speedway might be next door, I'm not next door. So thanks for making the trip over here to from Damnation Drive-In, and great place to spend some time. As you know, if you watched it, it is Jesus approved, at least according to what we've seen. And seeing in many cases is believing. And some of the stuff I've got to show tonight, I don't believe, but I see it anyway. So with all that being said, hello, Cunning Stunt. Again, Cunning will be with me tomorrow night along with GA. Hello, Smoke Wagon. No skinny jeans here, dude. Just Joan. Hello, Baldy Banks. Um, Fabulous show as always, Baldy and Sam. And if you haven't seen this show, um, you need to check it out. You really honestly do. There are numerous times that you will laugh out loud, for real, not just LOL on in posting in a chat. Funny stuff, creative people, a lot of creative people doing a lot of great things. Sam and Baldy at Damnation Drive-In, Rooster. We talk about this just about every night, And speaking of which, I'm just going to start out with this. They used it. Where are we at? Here we go. For all the shirt people, for all the telly people, for all those watching Damnation Drive-In that you didn't get a long enough look. Here we go. Let me get off of here for just a sec. Get off of here is what I said, for just a second. If I go off, do I lose sound? Was I talking all that time and nobody heard me? I guess I probably was. Okay. So I wanted to bop off here. So okay, I'm going to hop off for just one more time. Um, if I can, I can. Just so you can get a look at the corner down here, and then I'll come back on and see if we can't point some. Okay. All right. I thought there was something down there in the corner that hang on. How do I get this? What's this? Well, there we go. There we go. Jeez. All right. The first thing I saw was right. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Hang on. First thing I saw was right down here. At the very bottom was Max Flower. Then I saw Salmon Baldy Damnation Drive-In. These were new additions. Then I saw this. There, snuck in there. Thank you, Joy. That's my book, American Land of the Greed, Home of the Grave. It's a novel, or is it? Is it prophecy, or is it history? Only time will tell. Let's see what else was in here. This is Pooh Scissors. There's broccoli in the toilet for some reason, and this is Game Dev. This is the back of Telescope. This is very overrated poet, Edgar Allan Poe. And this is a girl. I'm not sure who it is. Okay, gotcha. But again, let's see what we got up here. Welcome to Fort Knox. Okay. All right. So there we go. I'm back. All right. So there you go. That's how we're starting tonight off. That's our intro tonight. Promoting Telly and Telly's Tavern. We just watched an excellent Damnation Drive-In as always. Poor Saint Bernard got drunk on champagne, and nobody thought of hydrating it. I don't know. The first thing I thought was, make sure the dog gets plenty of water and flushes his system out. But hey, I'm not a vet. And there's so much absolute bizarre news. Normally I got like 3 or 4 things on my Twitter, my Twitter bookmark scroll that we just hop down, but there's tons of stuff. A lot of Trump, a lot of Trump stuff. For those of us that would really like to see him put away, I don't know if this is going to be it, but while I personally think this may be weak. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. I'm just I'm just giving my opinion. The things to come are not. The things to come are not going to be weak. So this is just one of the potential of 4, and the other 3 are a lot more serious than the one that's out here now, which is serious enough. Okay, without a doubt. Did wrong. Should he be held accountable for it? Yes. Is it being painted in a way that is going to benefit him? Unfortunately, yes. I don't know as the next three will be. We can only hope. All right. With that being said, I'm going to hop back over in the chat just a moment. I want to get to the Twitter bookmarks. Here we go. We're starting with somebody named Ethan Schmidt, and some of you may know him. Right wing. Okay, here we go. Right wing provocateur Ethan Schmidt was armed at the Arizona Capitol to protest, quote, real president, end quote, Trump's arraignment. Schmidt also called for abolishing the 19th Amendment, which protects women's right to vote. So there you go, ladies. You looks good in a suit. Looks good with that. With that M16. Let's hear what he has to say, shall we?
So, our country.
Okay, here we go. One time. Here you go, buddy.
What's up? Ethan Schmidt here at the Arizona Capitol rally for the Republic. Biden's a fake president, guys. Trump is our real president. Political persecution, they're just gonna drag this out for another year. They're just gonna drag it out for press. So,
they're gonna drag it out for press. What are you doing? Are you there for press? Just asking for a friend.
The Republic died in 2020, honestly, when everybody gave up their freedoms for, temporary safety in the name of COVID. Everybody wore the mask, so, we don't deserve freedom anymore. So, pretty sad.
I kind of think I still do.
First Amendment, Second
and
Amendment.
Saved a lot of lives, in my opinion.
Here, abolish the 19th, too. But,
abolish the 19th, too.
New Founding Fathers, Anti-Maskers Club, Ethan Schmidt. Keep Arizona great.
All right, there you go. No. There we go. There you go. That's our start for our. Get back here. Bookmarks for tonight. Here we go. I got to play this at least a couple times. All right. Let me get rid of this guy. This is, dang, come on now. This is, let's read it and give credit where credit's due as well. This is from Emily. Fake Trump supporter, such a clown, as if. No, I don't think he's a fake Trump supporter. I think he's just a clown. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, he's a clown. I think it's pretty funny. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did somebody throw something? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody throw something out there in front of him? Oh yeah. I think they might have. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's all we could watch because it flipped it back down. But anyway, that's what happened. Here's what Tucker Carlson has to say.
And scheduled to speak in just a moment from Mar-a-Lago. This feels significant, so we're going to take his remarks live as soon as they begin. But before we get there, it's worth understanding what it is we've just seen. Often the clearest perspectives on our country come from outside its borders. With distance comes clarity. So with one president on Twitter today, quote, "Think what you want about former President Trump and the reasons he's being indicted," Bukele wrote. But just imagine if this happened in any other country where a government arrested the main opposition candidate.
It happens all the time.
Quote, democracy as foreign policy
I'm just saying, don't act like it doesn't happen.
Thousands of miles from New York City, in the heart of Central America, it is very obvious what just happened at that Manhattan.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, let's get rid of Tucker. That's for, that's for equal time. Okay, there she is. This is Lisa, and I do have a reason for showing this. A legitimate, like, news kind of a reason. This is Lisa. She says, "Good afternoon, Patriots. I love you all." And this is her. This is a bot, and that's why I'm showing this. This is a bot. That's Lisa. And then this is Lisa. "Good evening, Patriots. I love you all." I don't know. The only reason I'm showing this is because just to show you that it's a bot. All right. There you go. Now this is from Don Jr. This is his dad driving home, and I don't know. It looks, but that's how he greeted people as he was pulling back into Mar-a-Lago. I need to get that off of there. Let me remove that. I sure need to remove this one too. Okay. Now, I found this this is Will Smith wants to cancel all Trump supporters. What's he mean exactly?
We get to cleanse it out of our country.
Here's what he says.
And as painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk, and as embarrassing it is as an American to hear him talk, I think it's good. We get to hear it. We get to know who people are. And now we get to cleanse it out of our country. And as painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk, and as embarrassing it is as an American to hear him talk, I think it's good. We get to hear it. We get to know who people are. And now we get to cleanse it out of our country. And as painful.
Okay. Take that for what it's worth. I'm not sure what he means by cleansing it out of the country. Wait a minute. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Okay. I'm not sure what he means by cleanse it out of our country. Hang on. There we go. I'm not sure what he means by cleanse it out of our country. I did the math. All right. And I just took roughly, I took 150 million people of voting age. And out of that, 30% for the Republican Party. And out of that, 30%, 20% of which would be diehard Trump supporters. By diehard, I mean die. They would die for him. So they claim, anyway. So roughly 9 million people is what Will Smith's talking about getting rid of. Rough numbers arithmetic, but you know what we do on here. We just give you things to think about. Here's something to think about. You probably didn't hear about this. This is what happened in Nashville, site of the latest school shooting. Okay, what you just saw, that was basically a snippet of a vast crowd as Nashville. Hang on, let me get back. The vast crowd as Nashville, basically, their students decided they had had enough and took to the streets, demanding the Republicans pass gun reforms, chanting, as you heard, hey, hey, ho, ho, the NRA has got to go. So I don't know if you heard about that. I don't know if that made your local news or major news, but I thought maybe you might want to know about that. Might want to know about this too. As I said, I got a bunch of stuff tonight in hang on. Bunch of stuff tonight in the bookmarks. This is the final one. Here we go. He just looks like somebody you just don't want to screw with. Who is he? That's Jack Smith. That's the special prosecutor that is building a case against Donald Trump. National security officials have reportedly told special counsel Smith that Trump ignored warnings against seizing voting machines. Special counsel Jack Smith and his prosecutors are examining the various ways Trump attempted to overturn this election, 2020. As we saw at the very beginning, there are some that have guns and are willing to stand openly with guns and say that this election was not fair. And there are some that, hold on, there we go. There are some that are fighting for election integrity and for the country to move on. My old buddy Mike Pence has made a decision not to appeal the order that it compels him to testify before the grand jury. He really didn't want to do it, but by law, he felt it was the right thing to do. And when he's going to appear, we do not know. We know it's going to be relatively soon. We know it will be in secret. I'm trying to get down to the headlines here for Indiana news, which I normally don't do. Indianapolis mayoral candidate has been accused of theft at a Plainfield business. That's always good to know. And they've got it kind of buried down here. Bill to fund training for armed teachers moves forward at the Indiana State House. That's not the one I want, but that was one of the headlines I wanted to share with you. It's not a law yet, but it's moving forward. They've really got it buried. Do they not have the story at all? Indiana signed into law today a banned book amendment was slipped into the Senate bill during House committee. There's some nefarious stuff going on in the state houses around the country, especially in the blue states. Just stating some facts. Think about it what you wish. Well, I can't believe they don't. They don't have it as a headline. Indiana signed a law. Indiana signed into law today that there would be no transitional care. That transitional care is against the law in the state of Indiana. Let me just run through here. I would think they would have to. Here it is. Senate Bill 480 bans gender affirming surgery for minors in Indiana. Okay, so that's happening here in the state of Indiana. This is what was happening. I don't know if you've heard about this or not. This was what was happening in Chicago earlier. Last time I checked, it wasn't on any of the national news, but at the Trump Hotel in Chicago, SWAT responded. There was a woman entered the building with a rifle.
And I'm Casey Cronus live at Trump Tower, where earlier this morning, law enforcement sources say a woman armed with a rifle walked into the building in what police are calling a domestic-related incident. It prompted a massive police presence until about 2:30 this afternoon. Members of the SWAT team were seen running into Trump Tower around 11:15. Police radio traffic showed that officers were called to the 27th floor, where the woman was headed after allegedly saying she was tired of being abused by her husband. The lower floors of Trump Tower, located at Wabash and Kinsey, are made up of hotel rooms, while the upper floors house condos. Police confirm this is believed to be an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public. A resident describes the chaotic morning.
I was just doing some housework and some cooking and decided to take some fresh air. Came down to the lobby and I was quickly escorted away from the lobby out of the building and was told not to come back until it was clear. I asked several times what was going on and they wouldn't acknowledge, but I would assume that whatever was going on was serious and it was best I just left and didn't come back.
The scene is now clear. Police say no one was hurt, but one person was taken to the hospital for evaluation. Police have not provided any additional details on exactly how they de-escalated this situation or if that woman lives in this building. Reporting live.
Not a lot of facts, but I thought it was kind of an interesting story. Guys, eventually the women are going to have enough of your crap and they're going to come at you with a gun. So don't be stupid, dudes. All right. Normally I start out with this, but I'm going to finish up our little thing here as far as before I get over to the chat. And we'll see how that goes. I may just keep it running for a while. The Guardian top story from, as we normally start out with this, with the top stories from around the mainstream media, but we're off schedule tonight, so everything's kind of backwards. From The Guardian, Trump boasts about great family amid legal troubles, but where's Melania? Wah, wah, wah. New York Times says Pence won't appeal ruling forcing testimony to January 6th grand jury. He does not have to testify about what he did. Okay. Pence doesn't have to testify about the decisions he made while he was at the Capitol, while Trump supporters were yelling, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. He doesn't have to talk about what he did during that time. He does have to talk about the discussions he and Trump had leading up to that time. The Hill, while pinning Trump case to campaign laws, Bragg eyes a backup plan. Okay. CNN, North Carolina Democrat switches parties, giving Republicans a veto-proof supermajority in North Carolina. That's never a good thing, in my opinion, to have a super majority of one party. But don't be surprised if you don't see it in a lot of places. It's already here. NBC News. Tornado hit southeastern Missouri, leaving 5 dead and multiple injured. Had some tornadoes here in Indiana today, some small ones. As far as I know, nothing serious. And New York Times, the Trump charges bring doubts, hopes, and uncertainty in both parties. So that is our news. And let me hop it down into the say hello. See who's down here tonight. Hello, Pat and McCrotch. There's Mike, CKM Music. Who else we got in here? Smoke Wagon. Butterflies are free. Max Flower. Italian Princess. Chrissy. A lot of people in here tonight. Hi, Lynn Smith. Yes, the incredible Baldy Banks. If you haven't seen the Shaman Wipeout, yes. If you haven't seen tonight's episode, it's worth it just for the beginning. And I say that having been replaced in the beginning, I would have never seen it had it not been for Baldy, because I don't watch those channels at all. And what I do see, I see from others, Baldy and Rooster and G. Abbott and Telly. But I heard about it. I heard about the video about the red dress and the drag and I thought this is one of the things that, okay, you hear about it and it gets blown up and blown out of proportion and it's not really as big a deal, no, it wasn't blown up out of proportion. It is as it's almost everything. Okay, it's confusing, it's terrifying, it's hilarious. It is so demeaning, and not because of the drag aspect. That hasn't, because this isn't about drag. This is about somebody that has said a lot of vile things, has threatened a lot of vile things, and whose actions appear to be becoming more and more unhinged, which could be troubling. But anyway, if you want to actually see if it exists, if for no other reason, if you just want to see it exist, Sam and Baldy have it. And once you get there for the opening, you'll stay for the whole thing, because they put together a good show. What can you say? And it's getting to the point where there are those of us that are doing these kind of things, and we're doing stuff that you don't see on TV anywhere, let alone see on TV repeated everywhere, as most TV is. So some really good content coming out of Sam and Baldy, coming out of Rooster, G. Abbott's Basement, of course, Telly, hot mess summer, and who else? Am I forgetting anybody? Pardon me. I don't. If I'm forgetting somebody, let me know. I apologize. So, chat appears to be rolling along, and I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's just take a look at YouTube and see what's out there. Here we go. And let's see what's out there. Finland in the trenches. Most underrated bands. Damnation Drive-In right there, Sam and Baldy. Streamed 38 minutes ago. Make sure you check them out. Pat McAfee Show. Anarchy Princess. Of course, best buddies with Telescope. And Anarchy Princess and Defender of Ants. You can, again, that's another reason to watch Damnation, because you catch that too. Damnation Drive-In. Geography if you are bored. Okay. Let's click on that and see what happens. Now, of course, we get a commercial first. And there we go. Let's see what this is.
Geography and culture facts. There is no real reason that any of these facts made it into the video, other than I came across it, thought it was interesting, and it just didn't make sense for me to make an entire video about it at this time. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin.
All right.
In the landlocked African country of Eswatini, witches are banned from flying above 150 meters, or about 500 feet.
Witches are banned. Oh, we got on the right spot here. Witches are banned from flying 500 feet. All right.
Any witch caught flying their broomsticks above this limit faces arrest and a hefty fine equivalent to just over $30,000 US. There's no penalty for flying below 150 meters.
All right, so they can fly below 150. This is going to be good.
In 2009, Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi submitted a proposal to the United Nations to abolish Switzerland and divide it up along linguistic lines, giving parts of the country to Germany, France, and Italy. But the motion was thrown out because it violated the United Nations Charter, which states that no member country can threaten the existence of another. It's suspected that Gaddafi was angry about his son Hannibal and his wife being arrested in Switzerland for allegedly beating their two servants at a hotel.
Huh.
For a short time, there was a country
Can't beat your servants in Switzerland. We're learning.
Called the United States of Central America. In 1896, the countries of El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua came together to form the Greater Republic of Central America. It was renamed the United States of Central America when its constitution went into effect on the 1st of November, 1898. But the country was dissolved just 28 days later, when El Salvador experienced a military coup by this guy. Singapore's constitution requires the president to have at least 3 years of experience in a high-ranking government job, or 3 years as chairman of the board or CEO of a company worth at least $500 million, or an important government company.
That's called the Donald Trump rule.
India has the longest written national constitution in the world at about 145,000 words.
Damn.
Moldova has a mall called Moldova. There is a city park in Park City, Utah.
The country of Moldova, of course, has a mall, and the mall is named Moldova.
Called the Park City City Park.
Park City, Utah, Park City, City Park. Okay, that makes sense.
In 2021, Botswana had the highest.
Not near as funny or interesting as witches not being able to fly 500 feet, but we'll continue for a minute here.
Highest GDP growth rate of any sub-Saharan country at 12.93%. But their growth slowed to an expected 4% this year. This is partially due to global inflation. And the worst part, how inflation has affected the average person, including their investments, which are plummeting, like the stock market, which is either going to flatline or lose 20%, depending on which major bank you ask. Historic times, but Masterworks has been helping over 650,000 people adapt through it all.
Oh, wait, this is an ad. What the hell? What are we doing here? All right, here we go. More facts.
In 1993, but 16 years later, when the Great Recession hit, import prices to Iceland skyrocketed, and so the company closed all its restaurants in the country. Iceland hasn't had a McDonald's since 2009. The man who bought the last meal at an Iceland McDonald's never ate the burger. He wanted to see if it would ever decompose. That burger
I am the last McDonald's cheeseburger sold in Iceland in 2009. Doesn't look like it's done much. Telescope's broccoli looks a whole lot worse, just saying.
is now housed at the Snatra House, a hostel in southern Iceland. Andorra has 5 McDonald's, and because of its low population of around 80,000 people, this means Andorra
Everybody
has more
gets
McDonald's
McDonald's
per capita than any other country. In 2009, KFC sent a letter to the United Nations asking for membership under the name Grilled Nation, which represented 60 million people who had purchased its Kentucky Grilled Chicken. As what would have been
Come on now, Colonel.
in the 193rd
Wasting
member
people's
country,
time
the
with that
nation would have given
nonsense.
free samples of grilled chicken across the
Oh,
street
well,
from
wait
the
a minute.
UN headquarters
Oh.
in order to promote Monday's in-store free piece of grilled chicken event.
Well, if
The
you're
Grilled
giving out
Nation
free
was
chicken.
not admitted. There is a KFC as well as a Pizza Hut with a view of the pyramids of Giza.
That just ain't
The
right.
tiny island nation of Tuvalu consists of 9 islands, but Tuvalu means 8 standing together in Tuvaluan. This is because only 8 of the islands were populated pre-European contact. This map was likely created in the year 1500, and it's the earliest known representation of the New World, and the first depiction of the equator on a nautical chart. The map is attributed to the Castilian navigator and cartographer Juan de la Casa. Greece and Turkey have what's being called earthquake diplomacy. After both countries were hit with successive earthquakes in the summer of 1999, the countries agreed to help each other in the case of an earthquake, no matter how bad their relations are. Hawaii is in the tropics, where the length of day and temperature is generally warm throughout the year, but at its highest elevations, an occasional blizzard can occur. The United States' largest state of Alaska is bigger than the next 3 largest states combined: Texas, California, and Montana.
Do you ever wake up in a bad mood sometimes and think, is this day ever going to end?
Yeah. Matter of fact.
Invasive mussels blanket Lake Michigan, but it's down from its peak of 480 trillion nearly 20 years ago. The Puerto Rico Trench, located on the periphery of the Caribbean Sea, is the deepest in the Atlantic. The trench is 800 kilometers long and has a maximum depth of 8,376 meters, or 5.2 miles.
Ooh.
This point is, of course, the single deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
It's commonly referred to as the Milwaukee Deep. According to NASA, beneath the Puerto Rico Trench is a mass so dense that it's caused the location to be the biggest gravity anomaly on Earth, meaning that because of its location, there should be less gravity, but something is creating a greater pull. This has also been known to have a negative effect on the accuracy of navigational instruments.
Yeah.
48.5% of people on the island nation of Mauritius
South American
are Hindu,
anomaly.
making it the only country in Africa where Hinduism is the most followed religion. In 2017, Saudi Arabia accidentally published a school textbook with the Star Wars character Yoda seen photoshopped next to the late King Faisal as he signed the UN Charter in 1945. Saudi Arabia's education minister publicly apologized for the mistake.
And was beheaded. No,
the
that's a
Appalachian
joke.
Mountains
He wasn't beheaded. That was a joke.
on the eastern side of the United States, the Ouachita Mountains in Arkansas and Oklahoma, and the Little Atlas Mountains of Morocco all used to be part of the same mountain range, the Central Pangean Mountains. on the supercontinent of Pangaea. This mountain range began forming around 340 million years ago and had reached its greatest elevation at around 295 million years ago.
Assuming you believe the Earth is that old and that it is indeed not flat.
At its greatest elevation, it was around the same height as today's Himalayas.
Whoa!
Bangladesh is a flood-prone country due to being situated on the Ganges Delta and the many distributaries flowing into the Bay of Bengal. Many chicken farmers have had enough and are changing to raising ducks because if their farms flood, the ducks will float. Between 15 and 13,000 years ago, there was a lake that existed periodically in what is today western Montana called Lake Missoula. The lake measured around 3,000 square miles and contained about 500 cubic miles of water. The lake was the result of an ice dam. The ice dam would occasionally break, sending water through the glacial Lake Columbia and causing catastrophic floods in what is today Washington, Idaho, and Oregon. It's believed that this occurred around 40 times. El Dorado is named on many 16th and 17th century maps,
City
but
of
often
Gold.
as the name Manoa. 2 million people, which was nearly 1/3 of the Russian population, died of starvation from 1601 to 1603 due to a volcanic eruption. The volcanic ash obscured the sun, destroying the crops. That volcano was located in Peru.
Whoa!
The Danube passes through the
That should give us a little pause. A volcano in Peru devastated the crops in Russia. Imagine what would happen with modern technology with an eruption such as that.
most countries in the world, crossing 10 countries: Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania,
I'm a little
Bulgaria,
hungry.
Moldova, and Ukraine. China
Moldova.
created its first
mall.
national park in 1982. The park is best known for its 3,000 vertical pillars, standing hundreds of feet tall. One of these pillars, which stretches 3,544 feet into the air, was named the Southern Sky Column. But in 2010, the name was changed to Avatar Hallelujah Mountain, after the highest grossing film of all time, Avatar, used the pillar as inspiration for the floating Hallelujah Mountains of Pandora. The purpose of the name change was to bring more tourists into the national park. Ironically, the Chinese government actually banned Avatar, but not before it was in theaters for 2 weeks.
They
and
banned
has
me
become
too.
The highest grossing film of all time in China.
Yep.
The national park is also home to the world's longest glass bridge. The largest alluvial fan in the world is located in China, specifically the Taklamakan Desert. The alluvial fan is 56.6 kilometers wide and 61.3 kilometers long, with parts of the fan actively flowing with water from the Mulka River. Lake Nyas in Cameroon is considered the deadliest lake in the world. On August 21st, 1986, this lake literally exploded, sending a water over 300 feet into the air. But more deadly than the water was the gas it sent over the surrounding area. Over 1.2 cubic kilometers of CO2 was released in roughly 20 seconds. This massive wave sadly suffocated 1,746 people in just one night.
Oh,
The world's largest cave is located in Vietnam and was only discovered in 1991. Its name translates to Mountain River Cave. The cave's roof collapsed on one portion, allowing enough light to come in for a rainforest to form. And that's all for this video. Thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube members for
yeah. Thank you. Who was that? Geography Geek. Okay. Geography facts to learn if you're bored. Thank you, Geography Geek. We appreciate you providing that. Hold on. Okay, let's see what the latest Zelensky on situation in Bakhmut. If we face threat of encirclement and bigger losses, there will be corresponding decisions. Ex-Playboy model Karen McDougal breaks silence after on Trump's indictment. I hope I didn't miss anything. Not sure what. I hope I didn't miss anything. That's what she said. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. What we know now about China's spy flights is worse than anyone imagined. This comes from Fox News. Learning Chinese surveillance balloons, which traversed the United States uncontested in February, collected signal intelligence floating above American military installations. In this, the most dangerous period since World War II, the Biden administration should have been more forthcoming about the threat. China's incursion posed to our homeland. And here, let me share that real quick since I didn't do that. From Fox News. Give me their headline here. What we know about China's spy flights is worse than anyone imagined. Hang on. Why is it doing that? Okay. Now, we'll jump back over. Look one more time at YouTube. There's BTM Sparky, mapping Antarctica. Chaos on the Temple Mount. Last couple of days, there has been the Israeli government has raided mosques on the Temple Mount during Muslim religious gatherings. And tensions always rise between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Chris and I've talked about it before. For those that don't know, Chris is our military, our terrorism, our expert on all things that go boom. And every year at this time, there are clashes between the Israelis and the Palestinians because of Ramadan and because of Passover, both of which are going on now. They generally shoot some rockets at each other, and that's about it. 2 years ago, a 12-day war broke out, however.
Indiana is a U.S. state in the Midwest.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're gonna learn a little bit about Indiana here. We'll see how this goes.
Indiana is a U.S. state in the Midwestern United States. It is bordered by Lake Michigan to the northwest, Michigan to the north and northeast, Ohio to the east, the Ohio River and Kentucky to the south and southeast, and the Wabash River and Illinois to the west. Roughly rectangular in shape, Indiana is approximately 200.
I don't know, this guy sounds like he's got an accent. He might be from like New England or something. He might, I'm not sure.
170 miles north to south and 140 miles east to west.
Yeah.
The state covers an area of 36,420 square miles, making it the 38th biggest state in the country. Its capital and largest city is Indianapolis. Indiana has got 22 counties. At least 10,000 years ago, people lived in the area now called Indiana. About 2,000 years ago, a mysterious culture now called Hopewell tradition filled earthen mounds with tens of thousands of artifacts, giving Indiana one of the most important archaeological sites in the United States. Plenty of different Native American tribes have inhabited the region. Around 1614, French explorer Samuel de Champlain visited the area, one of the first Europeans to see the land. By the late 1600s, the land was controlled by the French. Between 1754 and 1763.
And the lore is that's where Hoosier come from. The term was because of the French dialect of the original European settlers. Anytime someone would come near, they would say, "Who's there?" And instead of "Who's there," it became "Hoosier." Uh, I don't know if that's true or not. That's the lore.
The French and English fought for control of the region in the French and Indian War. The English were victorious and won the land. Later, these lands would become known as the Indiana Territory. Britain held the land for more than 20 years, until after its defeat in the American Revolutionary War, then ceded the entire Trans-Allegheny region, including what is now Indiana, to the newly formed United States. Eventually, Indiana became a state and joined the Union on the 11th of December, 1816. Most of Indiana has a humid continental climate with 4 distinct seasons, resulting in long, warm summers and cool winters. The southernmost area of the state has a humid subtropical climate, experiencing more frequent rainfalls and less extreme temperatures in the winter. Northern Indiana may experience up to 40 inches of snow in the winter, but the southern sections rarely receive more than 10 inches a year. Temperatures range from highs of 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit to lows of 25 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. The state experiences an annual precipitation rate of around 40 inches. Tornadoes are likely in the spring. Indiana is divided into 3 geographic areas: the Great Lakes Plains of northern Indiana, the Teal Plains found in central Indiana, and the Southern Plains and Lowlands of southern Indiana. The Great Lakes Plains contain large sand dunes along the shores of Lake Michigan. This landscape varies from flat to gently rolling areas, interspersed with a number of lakes and bogs. The soils in this area are generally acidic grays and browns. The Teal Plain is part of the Midwestern Corn Belt. The acidic gray and brown soils found in the low hills and valleys produce extremely fertile land. The more rugged terrain of the southernmost part of Indiana is located in the southern plains and lowlands, which is covered by steep hills known as knobs. This area is home to a number of well-known caves, such as Wyandotte and Marengo caves, and mineral springs such as those found in West Baden and French Lick. Indiana's highest point is Hoosier Hill. It rises 1,257 feet in the air. The biggest rivers in the state are Ohio River, Wabash River, White River, and Tippecanoe River. Indiana recorded a population of 6,785,000 people in the 2020 United States Census.
Okay, that's probably enough.
2.65% increase since the 2010 United States.
There we go. That's probably enough. All right. Well, as the title said, we had a schedule change. So just kind of winging it tonight. I didn't have a lot planned other than our news because I'm going to have the ladies on. And it just... we had to change the schedule. Sometimes that happens, and that's a great thing about live. All of a sudden, you're thrown on here, and you get to see what happens. So, thank you all for sticking around. Your pants off. He is on his way. I don't think that's probably directed at me. I'm relatively certain that's not, but. My pants are on, kerfuffle, and okay, all right. Good night, Just Joan. Good night. Yeah, I'm going to be hopping off of here. We're taking it just over an hour. Telly's probably going to be on. Let me see. I've not heard from him, but. He said, I think he said the last I heard that he was going to be doing one of his video game narration episodes soon. He's got another episode of Broccoli and then, of course, Telly's Tavern. So that will be on a little bit later on. I don't know if he's on now. If he is, hop over there now. If not, wait till he's on. Sam and Baldy will be back Friday night at 8 and possibly earlier. Again, hit the subscribe notification so you'll know when these folks are on. Sam and Baldy, Telly, Rooster, G. Abbott, and of course, American Doofus channel. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the share. I've been getting a lot more dislikes than likes. It's okay. A dislike is a it's an engagement with the channel, and dislikes count in the algorithms too. There are those you love to hate. So I've been getting more dislikes than likes, and I'm okay with that. But if you don't normally hit the like button, you might want to do it tonight just to make people mad. And if you really want to make people mad, you can give me some money. Cashapp $ American Doofus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS with the $ in front of it. That's the Cashapp. If you want to get in touch with me, the best way to get a hold of me is Gmail. It is American Doofus, all one word, at gmail.com. Oh my gosh, pardon me. Wow. Pardon me. And on the YouTube community page, there is a link to there's a link to petition. There's a link to a petition to help raise awareness and draw attention to PTSD. That it's not being addressed in the way that a lot of veterans need it to be addressed, and there are some veterans trying to do something about it. So check that petition out. That's on my community page on one of the posts. Click on it, share it, put it in your Twitter, put it in your social media. Get the word out. Trying to get 1,000 signatures initially, eventually 1 million. So please consider that. And I get some major sinus drainage going on. I thought it was over all this stuff, and all of a sudden it's like my sinuses are draining. I'm coughing. I'm going to get off of here and hope Telescope comes on soon. If not, as I said, Sam and Baldy, 8 p.m. or earlier on Friday, 8 p.m. on Sunday. I'll be on tomorrow night at 10 with two of the Platinum girls, GA from CA and Cunning Stunt. Those of you who watch the show know that, there was the Golden Girls, but now there are the Platinum girls, the ladies associated with this show. They are just, they're just above golden and, priceless as platinum. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for clicking on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Rooster will be on. Hit her notification so you'll know when. And hopefully Telly will be on here in a few minutes, or if not a few minutes, within a relatively good amount of time, because last night I was waiting for him. I ended up turning the TV on and I got bored. So I turned the TV on, and that always puts me to sleep. So thank you for being here. Love you all. See you tomorrow night at 10. Namaste. Shalom. Salam. Assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you in the name of the Most High, His Son, Christ Jesus, the power of the Holy Spirit, if you so desire. If you're not a spiritual person, nothing wrong with that. We're all human. We're all on this rock together. We all got to get along no matter what we look like, what we sound like, what we believe. That should be the goal anyway. That's my goal. I love y'all. See you soon. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. Be a light.